Let me start with a question most people never ask themselves. If I told you someone makes good money, has benefits, and a stable career, would you automatically assume they're doing well financially? Most people would. That's what we've been trained to believe. From the time we're young, we're given the same playbook. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job. And once you do that, you're set. But nobody ever really stops to ask what being set actually means. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. A good job can still leave you stressed. A good job can still leave you living paycheck to paycheck. And a good job can quietly trap you for decades. That's the lie everyone believes about good jobs. I believed it too. When I first got what I thought was a good job, I felt like I had finally made it. The paycheck was solid, the benefits were there. On paper, everything looked right. I remember thinking, okay, this is it. I'm on track now. But after the excitement wore off, something didn't feel right. Every bill was still timed around payday. Every decision still depended on my next check. And even though I was making more money than I ever had before, I didn't feel secure. I felt exposed. If I missed work, income stopped. If something changed, I had no control. That's when it clicked for me. The job wasn't freedom. It was just a better version of dependence. Most of us didn't invent this belief. It was handed to us by parents who meant well, teachers who followed the system, and a society that rewarded playing it safe. The message was simple. If you do the right things, the system will take care of you. And for a long time, that message wasn't completely wrong. There was a time when one income could support a family. You could buy a house young. Pensions were normal. Healthcare wasn't crushing. Loyalty to a company actually meant something. But that world is gone. Today, the cost of living has exploded. Housing is disconnected from wages. Pensions are rare. Healthcare can wipe out years of savings. And companies will cut entire departments overnight to protect profits. The formula never changed. Reality did. One of the biggest misconceptions is confusing stability with security. A job feels stable because the paycheck hits on time, but stability is just the absence of chaos, not protection from it. Layoffs don't always happen because someone messed up. Sometimes they happen because numbers on a spreadsheet didn't work out. A job is not something you own. You don't control it. You don't get a vote when things change. You're renting income, and the rent is paid with your time. The moment you stop showing up, the money stops showing up. That's not security. That's conditional income. Think about the math of a job for a second. In a traditional job, your value is capped by your salary. If you work twice as hard tomorrow, you don't get paid twice as much. You might get a thank you email or a small raise at the end of the year, but the company keeps the surplus. A job, by definition, is an arrangement where someone else profits off your output. You trade the possibility of unlimited upside for the illusion of a floor. But that floor is a lot thinner than we thought. A good job might pay well, but it still pays you the same way every job does, by trading time for money. And time is limited. You can't scale it. You can't store it. You can't compound it. You only get so many working years before energy drops, priorities shift, or life forces you to slow down. I realized this when I started asking myself a hard question. What happens if I can't work the way I do now? Not hypothetically, realistically. That question changed everything for me. Now let's talk about the trap that keeps people stuck even when they're earning well. Lifestyle inflation. This one is sneaky. As my income went up, my lifestyle quietly crept up with it. Nothing crazy, just small upgrades that felt normal. A slightly nicer place, a slightly nicer car, more convenience, more "we deserve this." But what I didn't notice at first was what was disappearing. Margin. Margin is the space between what you earn and what you spend. and margin is where peace lives. When margin disappears, stress replaces it. Suddenly, missing a paycheck feels dangerous, changing jobs feels risky, walking away feels impossible. We call these golden handcuffs. They're shiny, they're expensive, and they look like success to everyone looking in from the outside, but they're still handcuffs. When you have a good job, you start making good job decisions. You buy the house in the neighborhood where people with good jobs live. You sign the lease on the car that fits the parking lot at the office. Before you know it, your life requires a high-level income just to break even. You aren't working because you love the mission anymore. You're working because the cost of your life has become a monster you have to feed every single month. The job didn't free me, it financed my obligations. And I see this all the time. People with great jobs, high incomes, zero flexibility. Not because they're irresponsible, but because they were told this is what success looks like. People think the solution is more money. Get the raise, get the promotion, climb another rung. But raises don't change your direction, they change your comfort. If your expenses rise with your income, you didn't move forward, you just upgraded your lifestyle while staying stuck. Real security doesn't come from a job title or a salary number, it comes from ownership. Ownership of investments, ownership of assets that produce income, ownership of skills that aren't tied to one employer. When income continues without your direct effort, your mindset shifts. You stop making decisions out of fear. You stop clinging to one paycheck. You start playing offense instead of defense. That's real security. And none of this means jobs are bad. Jobs are tools. A job can be an incredible starting point if you use it intentionally. The mistake is turning a job into the plan instead of using it to build one. A job should fund your freedom. It should help you eliminate bad debt, build an emergency fund, invest consistently, and create options. You start by changing the flow of your funds. Most people's money flows from their job to their expenses, then to lifestyle, and maybe to savings if there is anything left. To break the lie, you have to flip it. You treat your job like a venture capitalist. You are the investor, and your 9 to 5 is the funding round. Every dollar you take from that paycheck and put into an asset you own is a soldier you're sending out to fight for your freedom. The goal isn't to quit tomorrow. The goal is to make quitting possible. That mindset alone changes everything. The lie isn't that good jobs are useless. The lie is believing a good job is enough. If your income stops when you stop working, you don't have security. You have a paycheck with conditions. Use your job. Don't depend on it. Build margin on purpose. Build assets patiently. Build income that doesn't require your presence. That's how a good job becomes a stepping stone, not a life sentence. Because a paycheck can feel safe, but ownership is what actually sets you free. If this made you think differently about work, money, or what real security actually looks like, subscribe. This channel isn't about hype or get-rich-quick nonsense. It's about building margin, ownership, and options step by step. If you want to stop depending on a paycheck and start building real freedom, you're in the right place. Subscribe. We're just getting started.